The story begins in Afghanistan with the U.S. Army squad on the ground. One soldier snaps that some full-fledged moron is the reason he got dragged out here. Another soldier fires back, asking who just called him a moron. The two start going at it, but it's all a joke. These two soldiers are brothers. The older brother starts explaining the first law of thermodynamics to his younger brother. Energy can't be created or destroyed, so it has to go somewhere. When these idiots fill the trucks with stop leak, they block the vents. Heat can't escape. Pressure builds until the radiator blows. The younger brother tells him they shouldn't be doing any of this. They should be on the front lines. He brings up the Ranger Assessment Selection Program. Intake starts in June. But the older brother has no intention of doing that. Rangers are hardcore and he's too old. He tells his brother if he wants to become a ranger, go ahead. But the younger brother wants them to do it together, like they promised. He asks his brother to think it over. The older brother finally gives in and says he's in. The older brother finishes fixing a truck and starts heading out. But right then they get ambushed. The attack knocks the older brother unconscious. When he comes to, nearly every soldier around him is dead. He rushes to his brother and finds him still breathing. But the older brother just woke up from this nightmare. That attack was 2 years ago. Now the older brother has made it to the Ranger Assessment Selection Program. Every soldier here gets assigned a number. He's applied 4 times already. He just barely made the age cutoff. As an E6, he's supposed to be assigned team leader, but he flat out refuses. He gets assigned number 81. The first sergeant addresses all the applicants. He tells them they're about to begin 8 weeks of the hardest selection program in the world. Their emotional, physical, and mental strength will be pushed to the absolute limit and then some. If by the grace of God they make it to the final stage, they'll face a 24-hour simulated mission known as the Death March, completed by crossing the finish line. At that point, they'll be eligible for the most storied regiment in the U.S. Army. Over the next few weeks, every soldier goes through hardcore training. Each week, a group of non-selects gets sent home. The soldiers are issued rifles loaded with blank rounds. Out of everyone, 81 performs the best. But he eats alone. He doesn't talk to anyone. In hand-to-hand combat, he beats every single opponent. One day, an officer asks the group who's actually been deployed. The moment 81 starts talking about his deployment, the mood shifts. Soldiers start bringing up the Taliban ambush on 81's squad. They'd heard he received a Silver Star. Meanwhile, a news broadcast plays on the TV. NASA has detected a massive interstellar object believed to have originated from outside our solar system, projected to pass by Earth. The soldiers keep talking about 81, how he carried his brother 10 miles back to base. 81 still has scars on his knee from that attack. Soldier 7 catches him popping pills late at night. The next day, 7 figures out the meaning behind 81's DFQ tattoo and guesses the full form. During a combat battle training exercise, the Afghanistan ambush starts flashing through 81's mind. It haunts his dreams too. He makes it to the final week. During an underwater exercise where they walk along the bottom of a pool carrying weights, the memory hits him again. He sees himself dragging his brother across his shoulders on a shattered leg. Right there in that pool, 81 blacks out. They pull him out, drain the water from his lungs, and bring him back. The sergeant calls 81 into his office and tells him they recommend he retire from the course immediately. 81 asks for a reason. He hasn't failed a single event. The sergeant major tells him it's not about physical strength. It's about his mental condition. He doesn't sleep. He doesn't bond with the other candidates. He's ducked every opportunity to be a team leader. His record clearly shows that the very morning of his discharge, he applied for RASP. And he's been applying non-stop ever since. 81 says all he needs to do is cross that finish line. The sergeant major tells him he's one of the most capable candidates he's ever seen. But they want him to walk away from the training on his own. 81 doesn't do that. And they don't remove him either. He makes it to the final test. The candidates receive their last mission briefing. Their rifles have blank firing adapters, so they can't shoot. Their squad will be equipped with a single VHF radio to provide round-the-clock sitreps. For this mission, 81 is made team leader instead of 7. The officers make it clear. If he wants to become a ranger, he has to lead. Helicopters drop all the candidates deep into a jungle. According to their mission briefing, this is enemy territory. They need to locate a crashed helicopter, destroy it, find a kidnapped pilot in a hostile village, and bring him back. 81 tells his team one thing. They have 23 hours and 59 minutes to cross the finish line. The candidates mutter about what kind of speech that was. So 7 steps up and delivers a real motivating speech. They push forward. At night, 7 tells 81 the team can rest for a bit. 81 gives them 20 minutes. They'll stand watch. During the break, 7 tries to have a personal conversation with 81. But 81 doesn't want to hear it. Right then, something tears past them at incredible speed. The candidates think it's artillery fire. 81 orders everyone to move. They spot a ship. By morning, they find an aircraft near a river. 81 figures the enemy will try to smoke them out upriver. He tells them to call in their sitrep, but 57 says that according to the briefing coordinates, the target's position is off by a few hundred meters. On top of that, comms go down. They're picking up strange interference. The candidates move toward the aircraft, but 81 spots something reflective in the distance. He goes to check it out alone. While he's gone, the candidates plant explosives on the aircraft. But on the other side, 81 finds the real target. The actual mission helicopter is right here. Back at the aircraft, the explosives go off, but they don't damage it at all. Instead, the thing powers on. It scans the entire area and locks onto every soldier. It attacks them. 81 saves one soldier just in time. They run, but a cliff drops off right ahead of them. One blast from the machine sends all of them tumbling over the edge. The candidates hit the ground with heavy injuries. 81 looks at the carnage and Afghanistan comes flooding back. It's the same scene all over again. Soldiers screaming in pain. One soldier is impaled straight through by a tree branch. It's a fatal wound. 7 has a bad leg injury. None of them can figure out what just attacked them. The soldier carrying their radio is still up on the ridge. 81 heads out alone to retrieve it. Up ahead, he finds his dead teammate. The attack destroyed the radio too. Then 81 spots a soldier still alive. But the machine, now mobile, finds him and kills him on the spot. Back below, the fatally wounded candidate, 57, dies. 81 returns and tells them they have to run. The thing is hunting them and it's moving. It's following their trail. They need to get off this cliff. They tie a rope around a tree and toss it down the cliff face. One by one, they start climbing down. They lower the injured 7 on the rope. 81 stands at the bottom ready to catch him. But then his compass starts going haywire. He screams at them to hurry. But the war machine reaches the top and attacks another candidate. 7 falls. The machine rolls to the edge of the cliff and scans the area again. Everyone stays hidden except one soldier whose leg drifts into the scan. They dodge the machine's attacks and run. It launches high-tech bombs at them. By some miracle, they survive the barrage. The candidates stop to catch their breath. They start debating. It could be Russia. It could be China. 81 sees the blood on 7 and freezes. 7 tells him it's fine. He's got this. 81 asks for morphine, but the vial's shattered in the fall. 7 screams at him to just do it. 81 grabs 7's dislocated bone, forces it back, and wraps it tight. 7 passes out from the pain. 81 tells the group that 57 was right. Their coordinates were wrong. Whatever that thing is, it gives off some kind of magnetic field that messes with their compasses at close range. He saw their real target, an old jet. Now 81 makes the call. There's a village about 8 kilometers west. The cadre there is their closest hope. They'll carry 7 in shifts. They reach a river with a brutal current. Crossing it won't be easy. 81 tells them to grab the rope. They'll rig a zip line. He'll swim across and tie it off on the other side himself. 81 jumps into the river, but the current is vicious. Within seconds, he disappears. The other soldiers start to panic, but 81 surfaces on the far side. He ties the rope to a tree over there. 15 starts crossing with 7 strapped to him, but halfway across, 7 gets stuck. 15 tries to free him, and 7's rope comes loose. 81 rushes toward them. Every soldier grabs on and fights to save 7. But right then, the war machine shows up. Its blast snaps the wire, and everyone gets swept into the river. 81's rope catches on a rock, trapping him underwater. He cuts the rope and frees himself. The war machine scans him and opens fire. The current pulls him away from the machine. He spots 7 in the water and grabs onto him. But the river ahead drops off into a waterfall. Every soldier goes over the edge. 81 holds onto 7 even as they fall. But he blacks out. 60 pulls them both out of the water. When the war machine first attacked at the river, 60 had been knocked in and swept far downstream. By the time he came to, he drifted a long way. The village they need to reach is still 6 kilometers out. Just then, the helmet of Soldier 23, killed in the earlier attack, comes floating past them down the river. They push forward. Up ahead, they spot a tripwire connected to a flare. It's part of the cadre's perimeter surveillance. But when they reach the village, the whole place is destroyed. The war machine already tore through it. The radio relay tower is down. Every cadre member is dead. 81 studies the damage and figures the war machine came from the mountains above. 60 backs him up. They saw something about an asteroid on the TV, which means this thing is from another planet. Then they hear a voice. A wounded sergeant is drawing his last breaths. He dies right in front of them. The soldiers break down, but 81 tells them to move. 15 snaps back at him. The cadre are dead. They need a minute. Unlike 81, they're actually human. He knows 81 can keep going forever and doesn't need any of them. But not everyone is a Silver Star War hero. 81 loses it. He tells them he never made it back to base. He collapsed 100 yards short. His little brother died because 81 couldn't get him across the line, and they gave him a medal for the worst day of his life. 81 steadies himself. He tells them he knows they're all hurting, but it's not about them anymore. It's about getting 7 back to base and warning everyone that thing is coming. They find a tank stuck in the ground and start working to free it. The engine won't turn over. 15 steps in to fix it. He used to be a mechanic. The tank fires up. They hook it and pull it loose. 44 finds some snacks stashed inside the tank. They start loading 7 into the back. But right then, the tripwire flare goes off. The war machine is close. They need to move fast, but the tank has no ammo. 15 runs back to grab rounds. The war machine rolls in and kills him on the spot. The rest take off in the tank. They fire the rounds 15 brought back at the war machine, but nothing gets through. Meanwhile, its strikes are ripping the tank apart. The armor can't take any more. The war machine hangs back and hammers the road ahead with explosives, blowing the entire path apart. The tank goes off-road, out of control, and slides down the hillside. They've covered a lot of ground, but the tank is done. The war machine is nowhere in sight, but it's lying in wait. It rolls out right in front of them and attacks. The soldiers grab guns from inside the tank and fire back, but nothing works. In the chaos, 109's hand gets severed. The war machine closes in, tearing the tank apart piece by piece. In all the madness, 7 falls out of the tank. 81 grabs him, but an explosion breaks his grip. 81 smashes a nearby rock formation and buries the war machine under the rubble. He yells at 44 to stop the tank, but 44 is dead in the driver's seat. The tank crashes. The memory hits 81 again. He sees himself collapsing just short of the base in Afghanistan. His brother dying. He hears his brother's voice. Don't quit. Back here, he drags himself to the wrecked tank. Every one of his teammates is dead. 81 goes to the rubble and digs for the war machine. But only a small piece of it is here. The war machine has already pulled itself free. A short distance away, it hovers and sends signals up into the sky, transmitting and receiving something. Then 81 spots 7 lying nearby, still breathing, but small explosions start popping off around the tank. The war machine picks up on it and begins scanning the wreck. It starts moving toward them. 81 grabs 7 and gets out of there. He climbs a hillside through pouring rain, carrying 7 on his back. But the rain kills his grip, and 7 tumbles down the slope. 81 has to go back down, drag him up, and start climbing again. This happens over and over. Their time to complete the Ranger mission runs out. 81 collapses next to 7 and breaks down crying. 7 speaks up. He tells 81 he recognized him the moment he saw him on the bus. He went through air assault with a loudmouth private who happened to have the exact same tattoo as 81. 7 knew 81's brother. He'd been trying to tell him this whole time. 81 says he thought if he could cross that finish line for his brother, maybe it could help him sleep. 7 tells him he never gave up. That's not failure. That's a Ranger. Right then, the machine's scanner beam sweeps over them. It's found them. 81 cracks a joke. His brother probably would have just filled the thing with stop leak. And as he says it, he notices steam venting out of the war machine. An idea hits him. He leaves 7 hidden and makes his way to a nearby private quarry. Inside, he finds a crane, some explosives, and a flare gun. He switches on every light in the quarry. He searches for the cone crusher and finds the remote to operate it. The war machine has been tracking 81's footprints, scanning and following his trail. But 81 fires the flare himself, drawing it straight toward the quarry and away from 7. The war machine reaches the quarry and starts scanning the entire area. But the explosives planted beneath it go off, and it drops down into the pit. 81 rolls up in the crane. He rams the war machine, shoving it right on top of the cone crusher. Rocks start grinding up into its vents. The machine fights back, pushing the crane away and launching attacks. But 81 guns it and slams the machine back down onto the cone crusher. The rocks are the war machine's stop leak. They pack its vents completely shut. Heat gets trapped inside with nowhere to go. 81 jumps off the crane. The war machine explodes. It tries to fire one last shot but fails. Explosive rounds spill out of the destroyed machine and scatter across the ground. 81 runs, but a massive blast tears through the area. The next morning, 81 is carrying 7 on his shoulders, pushing forward. He makes it all the way back to base. 7 and 81 clasp hands. They made it, but back at the military base, chaos is everywhere. The sergeant major tells 81 that just defending this one base cost them half a battalion. And there are countless more of those war machines out there. They're preparing for a global invasion. What NASA thought was an asteroid split into countless pods that rain down across the entire globe. And thousands more are still coming. Every nation on Earth has united for this fight. The sergeant major asks 81 a question. They've thrown everything they have at these machines, but they don't die easy. How did he take one down alone without any real weapon? 81 walks him through his method. The sergeant major tells him his intel is going to save a lot of lives. He pins the Ranger tab on 81 right there. He tells him if he's got it in him, the other Rangers would appreciate a few words. 81 steps up and delivers a speech that fires up every soldier in the room. Without stopping to rest, he heads out with the rest of the Rangers to fight what's left of this war. And with that, this story comes to an end. Let us know in the comments how you liked this explanation. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel.